Hello, folks. It's me, Tommy NC 2010, and I just want to say hello to everybody on YouTube and Twitch. Also, well, not Twitch, but yeah, I think it was Twitch. Also on Twitch, I want to say hello to everybody. So this is this is my I did my life once before, but I wanted to talk about myself, in my high school career, in my high school years when I was in high school, and just talk about how things went for me and how it worked, and just take you along the extensions of my life through high school, and through how my education and just go on about that, because I want to share a little bit about me and high school, and through how my education and just go on about that, because I want to share a little bit about me and high school, and through how my education. Okay, when I was a young child, I went to multiple schools. When I fortunately, I went to one school and I had a little incident. It was a where little kids can play, and in the school they decided that they would have the fire alarm really close to the where somebody can grab it, like a little kid can easily just reach up and go yank. So I saw this beautiful little red thing. I didn't know better. And I reached up and I grabbed it and I yanked it down. And fortunately, and then, I stopped a bunch of kids going to a field trip. And that put me in a bit of a pickle. And I was like, the firefighters and the police officers yelled at me. Fortunately, I'm a little kid, so I don't know better. And honestly, after that, I ended up at a special ed school called Summit Charter School for Learning Disabilities, and I ended up there. And my teacher, I'm just gonna say her name. Her name was Mrs. Lamb. Um, she she was the primary teacher that taught me. Now, one thing you should know about Summit Charter School is the original Summit Charter School was a field with trailers and boardwalks. And when you go in there, you would walk through the boardwalks to the different classes, and it was relatively, not that of an expensive of a school that you went to, and it was had every kid that was the same. They all had learning disabilities, and there was no grades at the school. So you went there and you learned different things. And so the one fun thing about Mrs. Lamb's class was she was fun. She loved teaching, and that she's a sweet lady. I still talk to her this day. And some people, I don't know if you do talk to your teachers like after high school, or after, some people move on and stuff like that, but some, I like to keep in contact with some of my old teachers. And so, during that process, like, I was, learning things. And one of the things that Miss Lamb would do was, if we had lessons, and we would do reading lessons, and she says, okay, if you read a book per segment, like, if you read and write down what you learned about the book, and if you get this many book reports done, we'll take you to Disney. And so one thing about her was she worked at Disney, and it was a fun advantage to that, really. So my father would read me books and everything, and we would write down what I learned that night, and I would turn in the book report. And our class got to go to Disney World in Orlando, Florida, for that. So, after that, what happened is they said, okay, we're opening up a new school. we're going to open up an entire new school, and we're going to shut down the trailer park school, and all the special ed kids are going to go to this new school located somewhere else in Orlando. So, okay, this is new. So we go there, and it's interesting. It's like we even have our own cafeteria. I went there, and we had a great time. We did so many things, just so many memories, just going through. Now with my learning disability, I was, of many kids that I got to meet so many kids that had different disabilities. Now, with me is, I say that I guess what it is I have a problem with math and reading. That's my problem. I'm now the thing about it is Summit Charter School, I had to go to therapy. The thing with that is I could not hold things in my hands. I had to I barely could hold a pen at that. So I would have to go to therapy. I'd have to go on a balance beam just to get my balance. I did a lot of classes. My parents spent a lot of money for me to try to get the skills that I could have focused on today that can get me to where I am today. I went to a lot of things, for sounds and just to colors. I had a stuttering problem when I was a kid, and they fixed that. They always try to get me to say words nice, good and perfectly, so I didn't have a stutter. I did have a bit of a stutter and a bit of a mumble. I used to mumble my words when I was a child. They taught me the skills to where I can be today. And I have, pushed myself through what I would go through that point. And, I learned certain words and certain things in there. So eventually, after that, Summit Charter School, I'm just going to be directly honest with you. There was an incident. I'm not going to say what the incident was, but the school doesn't exist anymore because I don't know if it does exist or not. But all I know is that there was a bit of a scandal. I'm not going to say why, but the building is abandoned. If you look up Summit Charter School, you could actually just see the building abandoned, and it just sits there. Honestly, there was some grievances about how certain people in the staff were being treated, and it was quite a hectic time for that. But after that, I had pretty much we uprooted at that point, and we decided, okay, we're gonna move. We decided. After that, I kind of left that school. I still went to Summit Charter School, but I went to another building that was at Summit Charter School because my teacher, Mrs. Lamb, had decided to retire. She had been done with teaching. Well, she retired from Summit. She went off and did other teaching work. I was really sad because she was like, how there's certain, she was like my teaching mom. She was, when my parents would go out of town, Miss Lamb would watch me. Like, she would have me come over to her house when my parents went out of town, and I would stay with her. And she was a very sweet woman. Like, she'd fix me dinner, take me out to dinner, and stuff like that. And a very wonderful woman. Just one of the sweetest people you ever meet in your life. Just a wonderful person that loves to teach. And she, I call her up once in a while, and I talk to her, and she tells me that she's so proud of me. And she talks about me and about you guys. I talk about you guys as my fan base. And just the things I did that I learned. And so after that, Miss Lamb, retired. I didn't see, I got to talk to her a little bit. I went to the other school, and here comes the funnier part. Now, since it's a charter school, they don't believe in religion. So I go into class one day. I'm sitting down, and the teacher is saying, Mother Earth this, Mother Earth that. Mother Earth created you. Mother Earth created everything. And I'm like, me as a young kid, I'm a Christian, so I believe God created the earth and Jesus Christ is my savior. I stand up and I say, no, God created the earth. And she's like, Tommy, sit down. I'm like, then she goes on to keep saying this mumbo jumbo again. And I stand up again. I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. God created the earth. And so, what happened to me? Oh, I got punished. I got sent outside because I was expressing my opinion on this lady that was brainwashing kids to believe what she wanted them to believe. I'm like, here's the thing. If you're going to teach kids where they come from, okay, mommy and daddy get together and they out came you. But that's if you don't want to get religious, you say it like that. Me and your mama just got some Chardonnay one night and oops. Does that mean I'm a mistake? No, I didn't say you're a mistake. But why'd you say oops? Son, it was just the way I said it. Your mother was looking quite gorgeous that one night, and I was a little bit too drunk, and so, why do you criticize her so much? Oh, after you drive a car, son, so much, it tends to get some miles on it, son. Oh, hey, Mommy, Daddy says you're like a car. What, John? Oh, what the heck was that for? That's for calling me fat, and that's for saying I'm like a car. You're just an older version of it. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. Oh, God. So what happened was I told the principal that I was leaving, and I had been there for such a long time, so I decided to make an announcement, and I had her play a song, and I said, thank you so much, students of Summer Charter School. I appreciate you guys being so awesome and being here, and you guys are really cool. And so I said pieces, deuces, and I left. I left Summer Charter School and then started the journey up here. So I started the journey up here, and then I started. I came up here. I was really sad. I moved out of the house that I had been born and raised in, adopted. Yes, my parents brought me. That was my home. And, me as a person, I do have a brother. So yes, I have a brother, just to let you know that. But, me and him, I'm not going to talk much about him. But we went up to North Carolina, and so I started at what is it? Trying to think of it. Owen Middle School. I went to Owen Middle School, and I'm just gonna call him Mr. L. Mr. L was one thing about Mr. L is he was a strange individual. He was funny. He was determined. And he did everything to try to teach me how to read. He was really focused on teaching me how to read. SH means shh. And I would say, sah. And Mr. Ellis would spend hours and hours just going like this. Tommy, it's not, if you say sah one more time, I'm going to reach up here. I'm going to stab you in the face with this pencil. And I'm like, and for the 1,000th time, I said, Tommy, what does this mean? So, poof! Tommy, what does it mean? Shh, that's right, Tommy. Mr. Ellis was a character. Many of times when I was in his class, he was a character. I loved that man. He was really funny. I really looked up to him as a mentor, and he was one of my favorite teachers after Mrs. Lamb. And after that, Mr. L wanted to hold me back because he felt like that my disability. He wanted to stay and teach me more how to read, but the teachers, the school, said, Tommy would be, if we pulled Tommy back, Tommy wouldn't be able to be with his normal classmates. So what happened is basically I went to high school, Owen High School, and from there, I the first time I ever stepped into school, one of the scariest things that ever happened to me. Well, it wasn't to me. First day of high school, I'm a freshman. I am a freshman in high school, and I witnessed this. This guy's just do. Here comes this big dude, bam, 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 just like beating the snot out of this kid, and I'm like, oh, jeez. I'm like, I want to go home. So, I had many of teachers. Through my high school career, and so through that, I guess I'm just gonna say one of the names of my teachers, Mr. Nyhart. Mr. Nyhart was a genius. That was one thing. Every year, I went to school, I would purposely sign up for his class because I wanted to learn. I took Advanced Theater 1, took Advanced Theater 2, and Advanced Theater 3. And then finally, towards the end of my year, I took Advanced Filmmaking just to get that dose of drama and filmmaking and just to get my skills. Into that process, I was going to the special ed department, and they didn't want me going back because they wanted me to stay in the special ed department. I was like, no, I want to learn how to make films and stuff, films. So I went off and I did that, and I did various tasks. I was in 2 plays. I was in Biederman the Firebugs. That was awesome. I think that was my freshman year. And after that was definitely fun. I had a great time doing that. During that process, I was also in a play called Little Avner. That was definitely fun. I had a great time doing that, and it was a tremendous time. So in that process, I am preparing myself for another play because Mr. Nyhart's warming up another play. And what happens is Mr. Nyhart says, I said, okay, Mr. Nyhart, I'm really excited, but MTV had contacted me. I told him about it, and Tommy's like, and Mr. Nyhart was like, Tommy, come here in my office for a second. So he closed the door and he sat down with me, had a heart-to-heart with me, and he was like, Tommy, do you know what you're getting into? And I said, no, sir. What? It wouldn't be that stressful to do a play with you. He's like, I've seen, because the exact same girl that worked, she had her own episode of MTV's Made. He told me the struggles that she had, and I could possibly have the same struggles. So I upped and outed and said, okay, sir, I'll step back, and I will, I'll focus on MTV if they pick me. And they did. They picked me, and they announced it to the school. And so I did MTV's Made through high school, and it was fun. It was very fun and entertaining. Had a great time doing it. Got to conquer MTV and make a movie, which it's here on my channel, Oddball the Movie. You could watch it and tell me what you think, because I'm always wanting to hear what people think about that movie. A lot of people get choked up about that movie. So through that, I had gone through high school and learned so many things, and with my disability, I had to push myself through. And after high school, my MTV episode aired, and had a great time. I graduated, and after that, relatively, I I just went into the work field and I was working, doing different things, and that's after that I kind of got depressed because I didn't know what to do with myself. So my cameraman Andrew Wonder, he said, Tommy, why don't you make music? Why don't you, he handed me a flip camera. That's what I first started with. And so I decided that I would make videos on then when I found out about YouTube and everything, that just led me to this awesome journey. And I wanted to share a little bit of what I could explain about my schooling and where I come from. And I want to say thank you so much. And that's kind of like, from there, you guys know the rest of the story. And I just wanted to fill in some of the blanks of some of the places I've been to in the schools, and just show you a little bit about myself, and just show you, and something interesting. Before I started YouTube, I started filming with my camcorder. I would buy CDs and film myself. And I have somewhere, I don't know where they are, there's CDs, hours and hours worth of vlog footage I could honestly upload to YouTube and show you guys, and hours of footage with my grandfather driving the truck. Just my love for filmmaking, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate everybody here on the platform. So I just want to say thank you so much, folks. As always, I'm Tommy NC2010, and thank you for listening to My Life School Edition. And thank you so much, folks, and I'll catch you a bit later.